Okay, so to start off with, welcome to this call/video. For those of you who are watching via YouTube after the fact, my name is Jeff Gamble. I'm out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and we called this special call together and did this video specifically to talk about the 10 people that you absolutely want to put on your team inside of network marketing. And for those of you who are, new to the business, new to what's going on, I just wanted to say congratulations for joining and being a part of what we do. I don't want to take, too long to kind of go into the story, but I have about a 20-year history inside of direct sales. I saw a couple different companies, been with a couple different companies, have had some minor success. And what I mean by minor success is I have been able to earn over $10,000 a month in more than one industry, including real estate, including the mortgage business, including, investing and flipping properties, including the massage business, and including direct sales. So I've not only been able to do this traditional business, but I've been able to hit those numbers in non-traditional and network marketing. So I do have some level of success at doing this. Obviously, there are people who out-earn me by 100, 200 times. There are people in the industry that earn multiple 7 figures a month. As crazy as that is, not that you ever have to do that. I just like to put it out there because it is possible. Here with this team specifically, we work with a great group of people. The company we work with, so far, the majority of the people that are on this call are new and or participating as consultants with us. FES has been around only about 14 years. And they've only been in the direct sales network marketing side about 4 years, not even 4 years. I heard 4 years this coming summer. So this is a relatively very new organization and new company that's being built, although our product is rock solid and had 10 years of trial and error in getting it right before it ever came to the direct sales platform. So what FES did is they partnershipped with a bunch of companies to not only offer credit repair but offer a suite of products, and they also put together this compensation plan where on one side you cannot recruit a single person and earn great money just helping people fix their credit. The nice thing is we earn $100 per person that we sign up for credit repair, our program at $188, and then we earn an additional $12 every time somebody makes their payment. So between the upfront money and the monthly, you have the ability to earn some substantial money for a 15 to 20 minute conversation. Here on our group and our team, we actually wrote out the entire script of start to finish, basically the company, who we are, what we are, and all of our products that we offer. And then we have the right questions at the end for a new person to be able to just read this through to somebody. It takes 6 to 8 minutes to read it through. At that point, all you need to do is put somebody on the phone who knows what's going on, who's having some success in the company, myself. There's a plethora of people in our organization already that have already promoted and earned checks. There's Chrissy Peters, there's Brandy Pember, Jesse Garcia, and several of people on his team are already at levels where they've earned several commissions, they've earned several promotions. Jesse's actually a sales director with us at the 3rd level. He was able to accomplish that in like a 3-week period of time, very, very quickly. So there's a lot of success here already and great people to plug into. What we're here to do tonight is talk about your business. Now at this point, what do you do? And there's just a couple things we actually do inside of direct sales. We're in a program where basically we sell products. We not only sell the FES protection plan here with FES, which is $89 a month, and then if you decide to become an agent, you pay an extra $199. So it's $288 to sign up as an agent. It's $188 just to be a customer, earn no money, and just use our services. And then we also have the Credit My Rent program. For those of you who don't know Credit My Rent allows you to put your rental history on your credit report. A very, very cool, a very, very unique service. We can do it through private landlord and or corporation. And we can backdate it up to 2 years. So you can put a 2-year history, if somebody has it, legitimate and they paid on time. Once it's verified, a 2-year history can actually show up on somebody's credit report. That is separate to the protection plan membership and the $89. So that program alone is attracting real estate agents, it's attracting mortgage people, it's attracting investors to our program. And I was having a great conversation today with a gentleman named Aaron Wilson, who is here in the Indianapolis market and built a company called MyMortgageTrainer.com. Over the last, gosh, I don't know, he said something like 15 years, My Mortgage Trainer has existed. It was originally under financial services. It was called My Financial Services program that he owned here in Indianapolis, and at one point they had 87 employees. It was running about $8.5 million a year in business. They bought and built a 20,000 square foot facility in Carmel. Great place. So he's done very, very well. And just recently he decided to start doing networking, traditional networking, like-minded people getting together once a week to basically talk about how to trade leads and referrals and basically build each other's business by association. And he didn't really like a lot of the other platforms that were out there, so he read a book called Who Moved My Cheese? And for those of you who haven't read this book, what this book describes is marketing changes is basically the easiest way to say it. And when marketing changes, it's like the lead moves from one place to another. And if you are not aware that in marketing always changes, then what happens is you spend a lot of time in places where the money no longer is. So he had this great idea to create a networking group called Cheddar Stacking. And cheddar stacking, because cheddar or cheese in a lot of kind of side conversations is related to money. He's like, where is the cheddar? Where is the cheese? Where is it going? Where's the money going? So he created this networking group called Cheddar Stacking. And while we were having this conversation about cheddar stacking, he was talking about who was the ideal person. And we were having this discussion because he works with mortgage brokers. And I said, well, the thing about mortgage brokers is mortgage brokers like to sit in their office and they wait for realtors to bring them business in a lot of cases. I do not see a lot of realtors, and I'm sorry if you're a realtor on the line or you know a realtor like this, that most realtors aren't really good at going out and seeking business. There are several companies that hire somebody that has real estate and mortgage background, but most mortgage people are not good at going out and seeking and finding new business. But as a real estate agent, you have to go do that. So this conversation takes place, and what we were trying to decide was who was the ideal person to basically who initiates all of the transactions within the mortgage real estate industry. And yes, of course, it's the client itself, but it's usually the real estate agent is what we kind of boiled it down to. And I'm going to pull this up real quick. Cheddar stacking, and I'm pulling up this list. And what we boiled the conversation down to was who was the most important person who, if we were to build a cheddar stacking group, a networking group, who would be the ideal person who would start it? And we kind of were listing out this group, and I said, well, no matter what you do, if you're going to build one of these groups, these are the 10 people that actually you want to find to start a networking group. And then I looked at the group and I'm like, well, shit, this is the exact same list that you need to start a network marketing group with. And I was like, you know what? We need to talk about this. We need to actually go in and have a conversation. Who are the 10 most influential people? Now, here's what I mean by the 10 people you want on your team. And there's a correlation between what you do in the real world business and what you do in network marketing. Okay, so whether you're talking about network marketing, you're talking about traditional business, there's about 5 steps that you have to learn how to do if you're self-employed. You have to learn how to do if you're going to build a team in real estate, mortgage, insurance, financial services. If you're going to build a team, period. I don't care if it's traditional or network marketing. There's a few steps you have to master. Now, the first thing is what are those steps? Number 1 is you have to learn how to contact people. I don't care if you're a realtor, mortgage person, network marketer, you're in FES, you're in selling bubblegum, you have to learn how to contact people. And there's a certain way to do it that'll earn you the most money. Now, I'm not here to tell you, we've got videos and we've got trainings on how to contact people, so I don't want to go into, huge detail, but I've shared with everybody the way that I do it. There's hundreds of ways to do this. I just wanted to use something that worked for everybody. Hey, do me a favor. I ask this all the time. I found somebody online just recently that was a mortgage broker, and I said, hey, can you do me a huge favor? He's like, sure, what's up? I'm like, I actually just started with a credit repair company, and I'd love to be able to share with you what we do, so if you ran into the right person, you could refer them to us. By the way, do you already use a credit repair service? The answer back was no. Well, great, when can we talk? Now, this is a person I didn't know. This is a person that I met through Facebook. I built a little bit of relationship with him first to find out, hey, I see you're in Indianapolis. I see you're in the mortgage business. How long have you been there? How long have you been with your company? What do you like best about it? So I did something called FORM, Family, Occupation, Recreation, and the message. I kind of built a relationship first, and then I got to the point. The point was the contact. Do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Could you please do me a favor? There's a bunch of, you just have to word it based on how you know. Like, if it's family, I'm like, hey, I need a favor. I'm going to tell them. If it's a friend, I'm like, hey, can you please do me a favor? If it's somebody I don't know, I'm going to be more polite about how I ask it. But do me a favor. The second part is, I want to tell you about what I'm doing. So if you ran into the right person, you can refer me. What that does is that sets up for part 2, which is the invite. The invite is basically setting an appointment. I like to set appointments, exact times when I'm going to go over the information. I don't care if that's a Starbucks meeting, a lunch meeting, a phone meeting. I've done Zooms. I've done videos. Any type of communication that you can figure out how to do. I don't care if you use pigeons. Whatever you decide to do, do something. Something's better than nothing. Several people who are on the phone tonight that I've already heard from have put me on the phone with person after person after person, and I'll just tell you the fastest way I've found to build this business is basically through phone. If you're waiting to sit down with people face to face, you are wasting a ton of time. Get these people on the phone. Don't try to create the ideal scene where the coffee's perfect temperature at, 114 degrees and it's a great sunny day in Indiana. If you wait for those perfect conditions, you're going to miss it, and you're going to miss it big. Invite them to the soonest possible time that you can take 15 minutes and go through the program. If that happens to be tomorrow at lunch because you work with them, perfect. It's ideal. They're already there. It already makes sense. But if it's like an evening like this and you have somebody in mind and they're a good friend and they're already up anyway, and you know they're up and you see they're on Facebook, you're like, oh my gosh, I need a huge favor. I need you to hear about this, and I know it's 9 o'clock or 9:30 at night. Nobody's doing anything anyway productive at that time but watching movies and playing on Facebook. And I would ask them, hey, what are you doing besides watching movies and playing on Facebook? Nothing. Okay, great. I need a favor from you. I want you to know what I do, so if you run into the right person, you can refer them to me. Most people are like, sure, what do you do? I mean, it's 9:30 at night. I get on the phone. Basically, you get me on the phone and I say, hey, how are you? My friend William actually, would do the introduction and just say, hey, this is Jeff. Jeff, this is James. And I'm just making up names here. Hey, James, this is Jeff Gamble. William, how do you know William? I know him through church. Oh, okay, great. How long have you guys gone to church together? Well, for 10 years. Okay, fantastic. What do you know about what he does outside of his job? Nothing. Well, great. We just wanted to tell you about what we do, so if you run into the right person, you can refer them to us. That's how I do it. And then I just tell them about what we do. It takes 7 to 10 minutes for those conversations. Guys, that is how I've recruited 80% of the people who are on the team. Now, it's not that they get in at the end of that conversation, but typically that's how I introduce it to them. Then they say, well, I need more info. So that brings us part 3. The first step was, number 1, contact. Number 2, the invite. Number 3, the presentation. This is no different than real estate. I contact somebody. Hey, I heard, William tells me you're looking to sell your house. Is that true? Yeah. Well, are you looking to sell your house soon, in the next, kind of month, 30 days? Yeah. Have you done a CMA yet? that's a customer market analysis. No, we really haven't done that. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, just for free, I'm a real estate agent. He told me that are you already working with a realtor? No. Well, would you mind if I did a CMA on your house? I could collect some information, and then if it looks good, I can present it to you, and then we can get together, and I can show you kind of what we can do for you. It's the exact same thing. Now, after that, after the presentation, there's the third-party validation. Typically, how I do this on the phone, I combine steps 4 and 3 together. Step 3 is the presentation. Step 4 is the third-party validation. So I've combined those together. If I get somebody else on the phone, like if I want to present to one of my friends, I can get James on the phone to do the physical presentation for me today. And just write this down if you're taking notes. In network marketing, just like in business, time is your enemy. Now, what I mean by time is your enemy, the longer it takes to get going in network marketing, the longer it will take for your people to get going in network marketing. The longer it takes to meet up with somebody to present to them, the longer it will take for them to actually seize the opportunity and get started. Time is your enemy. The longer it takes for a closing to happen in real estate, the less likely that real estate deal will close. That's just reality. Time is your enemy. So for those of you who are trying to be the steady Eddie and the sweet and solid, you are going to get your ass kicked in the system if you don't speed up. Now, I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm just telling you the truth. This is how it works. Success loves speed. Speed, fast, now, right now. When there's an event, I am the first one to get the ticket. When there's something going on, I want to be the first one there. When there's an event, I want to be the first, which is ironic because I was late to this call. So I'm not saying you have to do this perfect. I'm just saying the ideal situation is you want to be first. You want to get moving. And here's the thing. If you want to be a leader, you have to be first. Everybody's like, I wish people would follow me. Well, how long does it take you to make a decision? About 4 or 5 months. Oh, okay, 4 or 5 months. Well, if it takes you that long to make a decision, how in the world do you plan on being at the front of the line if the event's already over? How do you plan on being up front if you're the last one there? Now, I'm gonna kind of target somebody. William Mandera, over the past, recently from what I've seen, and there's a lot of people who are doing this, but William happens to be one of the first people there every single time. And because of that, he's there, he knows what's going on, he's first, he's able to set up, he's able to help out. If he's not first, I realize Tom is usually, Tom's either first or second. And then so on and so forth. So the people who show up first are leading the group, if that makes sense. Time is your enemy, you want to be there fast. And then the fifth is the event. The fifth step is the event itself. Now, if it was real estate or the mortgage business, this is where the paperwork gets signed. This is where we actually physically list the house, we get the contract. In network marketing, this is where we sign up and take off. So what I'm going to do is I was looking over this cheddar stack, and I was like, you know what? The people on this list here are the same exact people, the same skill. Now let me ask you this. Does a real estate agent do the exact same 5 skills that we do in network marketing? Contact, invite, present, follow up or third party, and then close the deal. Do they do that? Yes. So a real estate agent would be a key person you'd actually want to bring onto your team, not just because we deal with credit, but because they already know the 5 steps. They might call it by different names, but they know how to do it. They're already originating business. The second type of person that you'd want on your team is a loan originator, a mortgage loan originator. Originator is in the name. You want people to originate business. They want to start business. That would be a second type of person that you'd want there. What about a financial advisor? Now, I'm not saying to target companies. I'm talking about targeting industries. Industries that produce these kind of people. Now, there's something called a captive agent and a non-captive agent, which is, weird terminology for those of you who aren't in the industry, but a captive agent means they basically can only sell the products that are inside their companies and they're not really able to do anything else. A non-captive agent is actually able to sell any of the products that are in the industry. They're trying to find the best deal for the client, period. So I typically will ask an insurance agent, which is one type of person we're looking for, or a financial advisor, are they a captive agent or non-captive agent? And I'm going to use the name of a company just because we've already recruited several people from this company called World Financial Group. World Financial Group also is a direct sales network marketing company, but you have to be licensed to make money. So you have to go through tests and you have to pay a bunch of money to go through this stuff, and I'm not downing that at all. They do very, very well, but I want people like that on my team because when we fix people's credit, what I hope to do is turn around and pass them back to these financial advisors so that way they have the ability to take some of these people and help them financially do better after the fact. I don't ever want to be that guy because I don't want a bunch of licenses. I don't want to be under the scrutiny. I don't like the SEC. If you're listening to this via the recording, I'm not against the SEC. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't like the testing. I don't like the scrutiny. I don't want somebody looking over my shoulder 24/7. I had my mom doing that my whole life. I'm just not looking for another babysitter. So we've got real estate agents, mortgage originator, we have financial advisor, we have insurance agent. That's 4. What about somebody in construction? If you have a traditional, now we're talking about Joe's Construction. When you see the pickup truck that has the magnet on the side of the pickup truck, and he's got the ladders and the tools, and generally, this is the guy that's wearing, and I'm not saying only guys are in construction, don't get me wrong, I'm not sexist about this. I know plenty of women, friends of mine actually own a cool company. I think it's the greatest idea in the world. It's called Two Chicks and a Hammer. It's a female-owned construction company here in Indianapolis. Katie is on my team, and her friend run this company. I think it's fantastic. So I'm just saying in general, you're looking for the pickup truck with the magnet on the side, the phone number, and it's an individual person. Call Joe, call Katie, call Bob's Construction, call Daryl's Construction. You want a construction person on your team. Why? Construction people, a lot of times, are seasonal. But these are people that have to answer the phone. They have to contact new people. They have to set up appointments. They have to do presentations and estimates. They have to follow up to find out if it's going to close or not. And in the end, they have to close the deal and do the work. So this is the same kind of person. They understand this business model. You're not trying to teach them something brand new. I'm just saying, why not partnership with us and make more money along the way? And how many other construction people do you know whose income goes up and down with the season? I know here in Indiana, when it gets cold, construction people a lot of times take a huge hit to their income during the holidays. They look for other things to do. Painters, outside painters and contractors, those kind of guys, they look for stuff outside to do. So that's 5, right? So now we have 5 people. What about luxury car sales? What about car sales? Do car salesmen deal with credit challenged people? Yes. Now here's the thing. There's people who work in the big dealerships, and then there's independent people who just sell 5, 10 cars a year. Those would be great people, again, because they deal with what? They deal with contacting, they deal with inviting, they deal with presentations, they deal with follow-up, they deal with closing deals. They already know that part. So that's another person, somebody in car sales, you want to bring them onto your team. Now, it's hard to get a hold of them. It's hard to get a hold of them. Why? Because they work from sun up to sundown. We've got our team leader, James Johnson, was in car sales. And he says, man, I was there from the time it opened until after the doors closed. It was, every single day, retail hours, long hours, but those people if you ever look at a day when it's bad weather out and nobody's coming in, all of the salespeople are basically with their faces pressed against the window if they're not outside smoking. Nothing against the industry, but there's a lot of smokers in the industry. There's a lot of walking, there's a lot of coffee drinking, there's a lot of shuffling, there's a lot of donut eating. I'm not pigeonholing anybody. I've just been to a lot of car dealerships and have a lot of friends in the industry. A lot of cookies. And pastries, and they all have their face pressed up against the glass looking for the next client. So if you ever want to approach these guys, go in and dream build. Look at your classic car. Go in and dream build and come right out front and say, hey, look, I am not in the market to buy. right now. It's going to be 6 months. It's going to be 12 months. But I just wanted to come in. I just heard about the new, whatever your style of dream car is. I don't care if it's a Jeep. I don't care if it's a Mustang. I don't care if it's a Charger. I don't care if it's a luxury. If it's a BMW, Mercedes, Audi's, Cadillac. If your dream car is a Honda Civic, fantastic. By the way, they just made a Honda Civic that goes like 300 miles an hour. It's insane. A friend of mine that's a client actually drove one over. It's not 300 miles. It's 300 horsepower, which is just stupid. It's a turbocharged like V4 twin turbo. It's insanely fast. It's like a $40,000 Honda Civic, which means it'll run forever, by the way. So car sales, that's number 6. Next, hold on, I'm trying to flip down here. The next person on the list, I've circled these, but this is actually off of my phone now. 7, you want a bankruptcy attorney. Why do you want a bankruptcy attorney? Well, because a bankruptcy attorney deals with people with bad credit every day. The friend of mine that I just talked to, he said we crank 75 to 100 bankruptcies out of just our small office a month. A month. And they're working with another kind of program. But what I found out just recently is his office pays a bulk rate to basically give that program away after the fact, and they do not earn money from it on the back end. He's like, what? You can get paid to do this? He's like, I need to bring this to basically my... it's his boss at this time because he's not a partner inside the law firm yet, but I need to bring this to my boss. So 7, bankruptcy attorney. 8, hairdresser or hairstylist. We've got a meeting this Sunday with a good friend of ours, Chris King, who is a hairstylist. He's a high-end. He does a lot of color cuts. He does a lot of color. He does a lot of cuts, specialty cuts. It's no joke. It's like $80 an hour. For a female to get her hair cut. I think it's $45 for a guy to go in to get his hair cut. He does not joke around at all. It's $250 to $400 to get color done. I know myself, Brandy, and several of the people actually here inside of my massage therapy place, along with several people actually on the call that I know that now a couple friends of ours have used him. Great guy. We're sitting down and basically he's already committed to said, yes, I'm going to do this. So hairstylist. Why would you want a hairstylist? Because a hairstylist has a captive audience that's sitting there all day long. And once they, if they're an independent hairstylist, they have to contact people, they have to invite people, they have to book appointments, unless they're inside of a big salon where they have a front desk person doing this. That's something that they have to do. Next, a divorce attorney. We've got a bankruptcy attorney. Usually a bankruptcy attorney is one type of person, a divorce attorney is another. For those of you who don't know, 50% of marriages, it's unfortunate, or roughly 50, I don't know what the exact number is, about 50% of marriages end in divorce, and about a quarter, it's actually 30% now if I read the latest thing, 30% of divorces end in bankruptcy. So the one leads to the other. Obviously not all of them lead to bankruptcy, so you're going to catch some of the people at that level and some of the people at the other level. So that's going to be, are we on to 8 or 9? I can't remember. I believe that's 9. And your final one, and this one made so much sense, because my mom's a school teacher, and if you look statistically at how many school teachers are out there, there are tons of school teachers. And typically, unless they're on year-round school in certain states, what do they all do during the summer? They all talk about, well, I wish I could find something part-time. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them are all looking for something to do part-time. So if you happen to start putting on your Facebook page, summer help, part-time help, summer part-time work with us in the credit repair business, I will bet that you could pick up a ton. Does anybody know any teachers? Wouldn't that be an awesome way to contact these people? Hold on, somebody just gave me it. Am I on? Available tomorrow. Make my cell phone any time. Oh, cool. So that's another one. That's just an insurance person. So can somebody text me, did I get all 10 there? Because I did not have the piece of paper that I wrote all this down on was upstairs. Anyone? If you can text me, that would be awesome. 54321. Either nobody's writing it down or nobody's texting me. I don't know. But that's the list. Realtor, mortgage. Okay, perfect. It is 10. So can you recruit other people outside of this list? Yes. But look at 9 out of the 10 people that we just went over. 9 out of the 10 people we just went over all contact, invite, present, follow through, and close people. If you can just get the program in front of people and relate to them, you guys are already doing this. All I want you to do is refer these people to me. I'll do the presentations initially and help you bring people in. We could build 2 businesses simultaneously. So, guys, I don't know if this helped. I hope it did. I mean, think about this. If every person you recruited, you taught them to go out and get these 10 people, and then taught those people to go out and get these 10 people, and taught those people to go out and get these 10 people, you could build your whole organization just on these 10 people. Now, do we want to have truck drivers? Because we've got truck drivers. Do we want to have people who work for churches? Yes. Do we want to have massage therapists? Yes. Do we want to have, people who deal with marketing? And, do we want to have, people who have tattoo shops? And do we want to have, doctors and engineers and, tax professionals and all these other people involved? Of course we do. Of course we do. But what if we recruited this, and I'm going to give you an 11th one. What if we recruited people who are disgruntled network marketers? Disgruntled network marketers. Disgruntled meaning they're not receiving help, or they're no longer in a company that's building, or the meetings disappeared, or their upline disappeared, or something disappeared, and they basically came out and say, yeah, I'm buying the product, but I was never really interested in building the business. There's tons of people out there like that. I just simply ask people, and Tim taught me this. He's like, hey, I see you're in network marketing. Yeah. Are you happy with the company you're in right now? And if they say yes, he doesn't talk to them. If they say, well, not really, then he'll talk to them. He'll say, okay, cool. I'm not asking you to, quit your company, but are you open to hearing about anything else that's growing in your area really fast right now? Just are you open to hearing about it? Yeah, I'm open to hearing about it. I can't tell you the number of people who are in direct sales who need the product. And that's true across the board at network marketing. There are a lot of companies that say, don't ever sit down with another network marketer. I was involved in a company like that for years. They said, don't ever sit down with another network marketer. These other network marketers are horrible, awful, terrible people. And I was like, well, we're all in the same industry. Why would that be true? That doesn't make any sense. But what they were trying to do is scare you out of sitting down with somebody else for fear that they would sign you up. And here's what I can tell you. I have no fear. And if somebody wants to go to some other company, I wish you the best. I hope you make it. And no matter what you do. That's just my feeling. I feel that we're going to provide the best training we possibly can. We're going to provide the best help we can. We're going to provide the best structure we can. And because of these things, and because of the money that you're making, you're not going to want to go anywhere else unless it's just the perfect thing for you. And if it is, I wish you the best. I don't fault anybody. Not everything is for everybody, and not everybody is for everything. I just believe that. I heard that from a friend of mine years ago that's a leader inside the business, and that's just how I look at the industry. But sit down and show people what we do. Say, hey, look, I'm not even going to show you the opportunity side because you're involved in something else, but you probably need to know about our product. Why? Because there's a bunch of people who have credit issues who need help. So with that, number 11, network marketers who are already in the industry, who already believe in the program. So with that, guys, I hope that helps a lot. If you got something out of this, please feel free to text me, write me, tell me what you liked, what you didn't, if we can help with anything. I just got on her teacher. So with that, if you have any question, I'm going to stay on for a couple minutes. I'm actually going to open the phone line here, and if you guys have questions, I'm welcome to stay on and answer some stuff. Otherwise, have a great evening. I appreciate you for being on, and I hope this helped. Okay, guys, the phone lines are unmuted, so if you're talking and I can't hear you, it's because your phone's muted, not mine.